There are thousands of AI tools out there that promise the world that would solve all of your problems, but often they just don't. I've spent the last year actually helping businesses out implement custom AI tools to get real ROI, so I know what works and what doesn't. In this video, I'm going to cover exactly the 3 types of tools every business needs, and I've thrown a bonus one in at the end, so stick around for that. Every business needs a core chatbot. That is like your ChatGPT, where you can go in, you can ask it questions, it can pull back answers from online, generate you reports, emails, research, data analytics. There are a huge range of different chatbots that you can choose from, but it's really important that you choose wisely based on the current software that your business is already using. These are the 3 chatbot tools that I would recommend. We've got Gemini, so if you're already in the Google environment, you actually get this natively with no additional cost, which is really awesome. It integrates directly into your Gmail, your Drive, so you can search for files and information, all without leaving the Gemini app. You also have access to Google's VO3 model, which can generate really good videos, but also they have Nano Banana Pro, which is amazing at image creation or editing. And you even have Notebook LM, which is really good at condensing information into podcasts or flashcards. If you're like the majority of bigger businesses in New Zealand, you're likely in the Microsoft environment. That means you natively get Copilot. However, there is a Copilot Business or Pro plan, which costs an additional around $34 a month, depending on the amount of seats that you choose. It's highly recommended to get that additional one as it allows direct connection into your Outlook, your Drive, your SharePoint for the same reason as you'd use Gemini in your Google space. The core model behind the scenes of Copilot is ChatGPT, the latest version. But it is about 6 months behind some of the latest features that are coming out. But the benefit here is, again, it is natively integrated into your entire Microsoft environment. If you're not tied down to Google or Microsoft, or if you want to explore outside of Gemini or Copilot, I'd highly recommend looking into Claude. Claude is probably the best model and provider out there. It is the one that I use for all of my day-to-day work and personal and business life. And the main reason I choose Claude is because it has MCP connections, meaning I can connect to any API or software that I want that's out there. When you're in the Gemini environment, you're only limited to Google tools. Copilot, again, the Microsoft tools. Whereas if I'm using Claude, I can connect to my Gmail or my Outlook, but I can also connect to applications like Xero or Notion natively. There's also Claude Skills, which are like custom instructions that you can invoke. And so I can have one set up nicely for my YouTube scripts, my project proposals, and in my one chat, and can call the skills natively without me having to context switch into custom GPTs or agents. It can do it all from that one chat window. I also mainly use that because it has Claude Code, which is one of the most popular software development AI coding assistants. And this is for the majority of the work that I do is building out web designs with AI components or automation scripts, and it's really helpful in that regard. But they've also released recently Claude Cowork, which is more for those knowledge workers, which file management, creation, presentations, and it can do all of that automatically for you. Now you may be asking, why no ChatGPT? It is the most popular AI chatbot that's currently out there. Around 10% of the world's population is currently using it. However, I've found I just don't use it enough compared to the other tools. My Claude, for example, has connections to all of my different software where ChatGPT can't. My Gemini I use for my image and video creation, which ChatGPT's version is a lot slower and worse. So there's just not a place at the moment for me to use it, and so I'm not really recommending that on to other people. Now, the second most important tool you need to have in your business is some form of voice and transcription tool. So this is for taking meeting transcriptions and notes. If I'm having to sit down with a client, I want to have an AI there sitting and listening to it, and it will write out the entire transcript of everything that was said, but I can also turn that into summaries and key bullet points of what I actually need to do moving forward. So what this looks like is after a meeting with a client or my contractor, we can have a full note and summary of what went on in that conversation, but then also have the action items where Blake needs to go do Y, Alex needs to go do Z, which is really helpful for communication. There's also voice to SOP, which we can use if I need to create a standard operating procedure. Instead of me typing it all out, I can just speak my exact procedure that I'm doing in my plan, and it can generate that out for me. We can speak and communicate a lot better than we can type. So the more we can speak and use that into our documentation, into our workflows, into our business and personal life, the better. And so there are so many different AI meeting transcription, note taker tools that are out there, and it's really hard to recommend one. If you are in the Google or Microsoft environment, I would stick to probably the Google Gemini one, which does in Google Meet. And you also have Copilot for your Teams meetings that can natively transcribe your conversations. Fireflies AI is one of the most popular ones that I've heard people use. A funny story about that, it wasn't actually AI at the start. It was actually the founders going into meetings, pretending to be an AI and taking the notes themselves until they got funding to build it. Pretty cool. Marloo is another one that more financial, KiwiSaver advice, mortgage brokers are using, as it's kind of trained for that type of language in the output. And then there's also Heidi Health, which is for the GP practitioners, or it's the physiotherapist that is, again, trained specifically for that use case. The third type of tool that you need is some form of automation tool. And so this is where we have processes across our business that are really manual and tedious, and we just want to automate it completely. For example, here, finding any invoices that are overdue for over 1 week, and then if so, go and email that client. So there are 3 main tools that I recommend. You've got make.com, which is your kind of entry-level automation tool. You've got really user-friendly interface where you've got different nodes that you can connect onto. So you just add the Xero node or the Gmail node and connect them up and put your credentials in. It's a lot easier for someone who hasn't used this sort of stuff before. Then if you're in the middle of that kind of experience range, you want a bit more customization, I'd recommend Zapier. And that also has some chatbot and agent and database features as well that make it a bit more advanced if you want to do some more advanced automation. But then if you're more developer focused, I'd highly recommend Innate-In, as it's almost fully custom and you can do pretty much anything you imagine and connect to any different tools, but it is a lot more technical to understand and get underway. Now for the bonus one, it has to be voice agents. This is really dependent on the type of business you are, but there are many different applications. Firstly, a 24/7 receptionist. You cannot answer the phone all the time. If you're on leave, it's after hours, but you don't want to miss any leads that may come through. So what you can set up is a voice agent that actually picks up the phone call and has a conversation to qualify the lead, log the information, book a calendar, invite, any of that kind of stuff. It can do that automatically for you. Now, this is not a really robotic sounding agent that really doesn't sound very nice at all. AI voice assistants now are absolutely mind-blowing. There is no way that I can not tell that I'm speaking to a real person or a robot. It is mind-blowing. The other application is outbound calls. If I've got a database of old leads that I've worked with and I haven't contacted in a while, I can go and get my voice agent to call them up and just go, hey, for example, if it's a real estate, hey, are you looking to sell your property? No, okay, all sweet. Yes, you are. Okay, we'll get a real person to call you back and have a conversation. And so it's about that lead capture, but also if it's about reminders, the day before you've got an appointment, maybe you want to call them up to make sure that they're still coming. Otherwise, they may cancel it, and then that's missed money on your end. And lastly, the other use case I'm seeing is for internal health and safety or reporting for daily job activities. As I've said, communication is so much easier through speech rather than typing it out. No one wants to be filling out huge forms every day for health and safety or daily job reporting. What we can do instead is set up an agent that they can call up, or it's just an app on their phone. They can transcribe, they can speak out all the stuff that would be logged into the form. AI transcribes it through, puts it into that structured data, and stores that back into your system automatically for you, saving a whole heap of time. So I've brought up a range of tools there, but how do you actually build your AI tool stack? Well, first it starts with identifying the problems. You need to map out your business processes. What are we doing and where are the bottlenecks that are taking too much time? Then we need to look at solutions. Are we looking at a voice agent? Are we looking at automation? Is it something we can simply just put into Gemini or ChatGPT? Then give it a trial period. You need at least 30 days to actually use these tools before finding if there's going to be benefit and using it or trying something else. Try to stay focused. The biggest point there is avoid shiny object syndrome in the AI space. Tools are getting updates. They're coming out every day. There's new ones popping up, promising the world. Give that trial time, stick to the tool, make sure it's the tool that doesn't work and it's not a user issue. So those are the top 3 types of AI tools I believe every business needs. Obviously, there's a huge range of other ones that are specific to your industry or business type. If you need any help with AI upskilling, use case identification, or custom development, I'm helping businesses all across New Zealand work smarter, not harder with AI. So reach out. Thank you very much and see you around.